Isaac lived in the land of Canaan. He was old and blind. His wife Rebekah looked after him. Their sons were twins called Esau and Jacob. They loved them both very much. When they were little boys, Esau and Jacob enjoyed playing together. There was always plenty to do around the tent where they lived. There were hills to climb and donkeys to ride. But as they grew older, they started to enjoy different things. "Let's go out hunting for meat," Esau would say. But Jacob would answer, "No thanks, I'd rather stay at home." Rebekah loved Jacob best. She was glad that he stayed at home. They talked together as they worked. Jacob knew that even though they were twins, Isaac would give Esau all the special blessings of God kept for the first son, because he was born first. "It's just not fair," Jacob would say to his mother. Isaac was glad that Esau loved hunting. He enjoyed eating the meat Esau caught while he listened to his stories. He loved to hear about the hills and the fields and the world he could not see. One day, when Esau was out hunting, Rebekah called to Jacob, "Quickly, go and put on some of Esau's clothes. We will make your father give you the special blessing before Esau comes back." Rebekah tied goat skins around Jacob's arms to make them feel hairy like Esau's. Then Jacob took some food to his father. Isaac was blind, so he put out his hand to touch his son. "Is that you, Esau?" he asked. "Yes, father," said Jacob, making his voice sound like Esau's. So Isaac gave Jacob the special blessing of God, kept for the first son. Jacob and Rebekah were glad. They knew now that Jacob would be a rich man. Isaac's blessing promised him a long life and success. Then Esau came in from hunting. He cooked the meat and took it in to his father. Esau asked his father for the special blessing. Then Isaac knew he had been tricked. "You are too late, my dear son," he told Esau. Esau was furious when he heard what had happened. "My brother is a cheat! I should have God's special blessing. Please give it to me," he begged. "I can't," said Isaac sadly. "I gave it to Jacob, and I cannot take it back." "I will kill him," said Esau. Rebekah heard what Esau said, so she sent Jacob away. "Go and stay in the land where my brother lives," she said. "I will send you a message when it is safe for you to come home." There was an old man called Jacob living in Canaan. His wife had died, but he was never lonely because he had 12 sons. Jacob loved all his sons, but one was special. His name was Joseph, and Jacob loved him best of all. The other brothers were jealous because Jacob made a big fuss over Joseph. He even gave Joseph a special coat to wear. Joseph was not very nice. For one thing, he always ran and told his father about what his brothers were doing. One night, Joseph dreamed that all his family were sheaves of wheat in a field. His sheaf stood up straight and tall. All the other sheaves bowed down to his sheaf. When Joseph told his brothers about the dream, they were really angry. "Do you think we will bow down to you?" they said. "You must be joking." Another time, Joseph dreamed he was looking up into the sky. His family were the sun, the moon, and the stars. They all bowed down to him. Even his father was upset when he heard about that dream. "What kind of dream is that?" he said. "Be quiet." His brothers hated him still more. Jacob was a rich man. He had huge flocks of sheep and goats. The animals needed grass to eat and water to drink. Often they had to be taken a long way away to find the grass and water. Jacob's sons went with the animals to take care of them. Sometimes they walked many days just looking for grass. Joseph stayed at home. One day Jacob's sons had been away with the sheep for a long time. Jacob said to Joseph, "I want you to go and find your brothers. Take them some food and see if they are well." Joseph walked and walked. His brothers saw him coming. They laughed behind their hands. "Here comes the great dreamer," they said. One of them said, "I've had enough of his dreams. He's only come now so that he can go back and tell our father about us. Let's kill him." Another one said, "Why don't we just throw him in that well over there?" They all thought that was the best idea. They took off Joseph's special coat and threw him into the dried-up well. Then they sat down to enjoy the food Joseph had brought them. Suddenly, they saw a long line of camels walking slowly over the hills. They knew the men with the camels were going to Egypt to sell their goods. "I know," one brother said. "Let's sell Joseph to those men. They can take him to Egypt to work. Then we'll never see him again." They shouted to the men to stop. Then they pulled Joseph up out of the well. "What will you pay us for this strong young man?" they asked. Joseph's brothers sold him to the men for 20 silver coins and watched the camels go off to Egypt with Joseph walking behind. They tore Joseph's coat and dipped it in the blood of an animal. The beautiful new coat looked horrible now. When they went home, they tried to look unhappy. "Look what we found," they said to Jacob, holding up the coat. "Do you think Joseph has been killed by a wild animal?" Jacob took the coat and held it up. "Joseph must be dead," he said. Jacob was so sad. He did not see that his sons were glad to get rid of Joseph. Jacob was very sad. He thought his son was gone, and he would never see him again.